The Railcar and the Bus. Bulgy is one of the most frustrating road vehicles on the island of Sodor. While he works hard and can be respectful to his fellow road vehicles,
roads are looking as exceptional as ever, George. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Bulgy.
and yet he's nothing but a nuisance to those on the railway. Every chance he got, he'd give loud protests about how traveling by road is better than by rails.
Free the roads from railway tyranny!
Even some fellow road vehicles were put off by Bulgy's ravings.
Soon, it'll be our time, Bertie. The buses will rule the transportation system and railways will be ripped up.
Yes, so you keep saying, every single day.
Now Bulgy's a bus that's going places.
I can tell you where he's going. To give us all a headache.
Indeed, Bulgy was nothing short of tiresome to everyone around him. One day, Thomas, Percy, Toby, Duck, and Oliver had an indignation meeting about Bulgy.
It's the same thing every day with Bulgy. Free the roads this, down with railways that. Can't we just do something?
There's not much we can do, Percy. Like it or not, he's still doing his job. And he hasn't pulled one of his old tricks in months.
Beg pardon, Toby, but that's the problem. Because he's been behaving himself, he thinks he's untouchable. And we still have to put up with his bad attitude.
And it's no use talking to him. He never takes us seriously.
If only there was a way to scare Bulgy into listening to us.
Just then, Daisy, the diesel rail car, purred in.
Oh, good day, mes amis. What seems to be bothering you all today?
To be honest, Daisy, it's Bulgy that's bothering us.
And so, the 5 engines told Daisy all about the rude double-decker bus. Daisy listened with interest, but then scowled when the other engines finished.
Oh, is that so? Right, we'll soon stop that nonsense.
The Steamies were shocked when she said that.
What does that mean? What will you do?
We should warn you, Bulgy's rude, stubborn, and doesn't take kindly to engines.
Well, I don't take kindly to scoundrels such as he. Just leave him to me, my dears.
Before either of them could stop her, Daisy was already flouncing out of the yard with a plan. All 5 engines suddenly felt dreadfully nervous, inside and out.
Oh dear.
That afternoon, Percy had to collect passengers from Bulgy. Daisy waited at the other platform. Thomas, Toby, and the coaches waited anxiously in the yard. They wanted to see what would happen. They didn't have to wait long, as a certain grouchy bus slithered towards the station.
Fat passenger trains! What a waste of time. Passengers would have a much nicer time on a bus instead of being bounced about by some dirty, clattery, noisy old...
Dirty, clattery, and noisy, are we? You, I suppose, are Bulgy, yes? Oh, I've heard all about you.
Who are...
You march about on the roads, ranting and raving about how railways should be ripped up. And yet you seem to forget that without our rails, you wouldn't have half the passengers your greedy little chassis can carry. So unless you fancy being a hen house again, might I suggest that you put a corker in it, you oversized pot roast?
The yard and the station fell eerily silent. No one breathed a word. For the first time all week, Bulgy was left speechless. He was too afraid to even utter another word. So instead, he dropped off his passengers and timidly rolled all the way home. He had more than enough to think about.
There you are, Percy. He shouldn't give you any trouble for quite a while.
The other engines cheered.
Way to go, Daisy! You certainly showed him up!
For at least a week, Bulgy was a different sort of bus. A quieter, timid, humble bus who kept mostly to himself.
Oh, so now you're too good to talk to a steamroller, is that it?
He didn't rave or make a fuss. He didn't even shout, "Free the roads!" once. He just delivered his passengers and nothing more. Of course, the engines knew the peace wouldn't last forever, but they decided to enjoy it while they could. And they all had a newfound respect for Daisy for saying what they were too frustrated to.